What's up, class? Hope everyone's doing all right. This is our reteach for the second standard of Chapter 2, Assessment 1. This is Standard 5.1, all about finding the area of different shapes that we learned in Chapter 2. And so the first question here, we'll just go straight at it. It says to find the area of the triangle shown below. So if we remember, for the area of a triangle, it's always going to be area is equal to 1/2 times base times height, or as some people like to write it, base times height divided by 2. Both ways work. It's the same thing. So we just first need to figure out what these measurements are. So looking at my triangle, I'm going to find the base first. So base starts at 2 and it goes to 7. So that means it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my base of this triangle is 5. But what's my height? Well, here's the thing. It's slanted. But if you guys remember from some of the work that you guys did during class, doesn't matter if it's slanted or not. What matters is what is your vertical height going from the bottom to the top. And in this case, I could extend it out a little bit further right here. And my height of this triangle is actually just going to be 1, which just makes things very simple. So I'm going to start plugging these things into my formula. I'm going to use the first one just for convenience sake. So 1/2 times base, which is 5, times the height, which is 1. So when I multiply this out, it's really just 5 divided by 2, which if you plug this into your calculator, you get 2.5, and in this case, it would be units squared. So again, very straightforward there. So in the future, of course, if you guys are doing the retake, please make sure that your height, regardless if it's like a normal triangle or not, it's always going from the horizontal bottom to the vertical top. So always go straight down and up. You can't have a slanted height for areas of triangles, okay? Moving on to number 2, find the area of the parallelogram shown below. And for these guys, very straightforward again, area is equal to base times height. So in this case, my base here is going to be 44. Some of you guys might wonder, well, Mr. Tran, that's not the bottom. But we have to remember with parallelograms that the opposite sides are going to be the same. So this is also 44. And our height here is not 46, it's 43. 46 is a slant here. It's a slanted side. It's not the height. You have to make sure, like I mentioned for the triangle, that it goes straight up and down. Straight up and down vertical line. So if we go ahead and plug this in, area is equal to 43 times 44. I flip the area in the base here. I'll make it consistent. So area is equal to 44 times 43. Which when you plug this into your calculator, I actually need to do this myself. Just give me 1 second. So 44 times 43 gets us a big area of 1,892. Let me undo this. 1,892. And there's no units, so we just say units squared. And that's going to be our answer. Okay. There. 1,892 down there. Okay, number 3, moving on forward. Now, trapezoids are a little bit different because the formula is going to look a little bit weird. If we remember, it's going to be area is equal to base 1 plus base 2 times the height divided by 2, or writing just 1/2 times base 1 plus base 2 times the height. So how do we know what base 1 and base 2 is? Well, it doesn't really matter as long as you understand that you're adding the two bases together. I like to put my top as base 1, my bottom as base 2. But if you're the type of guy, type of girl that likes to go the bottom base 1 and top base 2, whatever floats your boat, it works. And again, the height here is not the slants. It is the one that goes horizontal or vertically up and down. So we can go ahead and plug in our numbers here. So I'm going to use the first one for convenience. So base 1 is 10.4 plus base 2, which is 26, times the height, which is 20.8, all divided by 2. So there's a lot of calculations here. I like to go step by step. So I'm going to do 10.4 plus 26, which is 36.4, times 20.8. So I'm going to rewrite all these steps here. So that's going to be 36.4 times 20.8. all divided by 2. So if I keep going, the top is going to end up being 757.12, And now we just need to divide by 2. And when we do that, we get the area to equal 378.56 units squared. Okay. Let me just circle this up again. So I'll type this in. 378.56. We should be good. Perfect. All right, this leaves the last question here. So this, we run into some complications because I think some people were misunderstanding what we're looking for. So it says use the image above to find the area of the shaded region. So we're finding the area of basically these 3 triangles, or if another perspective is the whole triangle without the little rectangle here. So here's the strategy that I would use. I know that my whole rectangle has a base of 21 and a height of 14. My small rectangle has a height of 7 and 15, and 7 and a base of 15. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the whole rectangle minus the small rectangle. The whole rectangle minus the small rectangle. And then after I do that, I also got to do a little bit of extra work here because I need to figure out these little extra sides. So a good way to figure this out is, actually, you know what? I just realized something. We can actually just figure out the areas of all these triangles together. No, am I crazy? I'm crazy. Sorry. Ignore everything I just said. So we're going to find the area of the big triangle and subtract the little rectangle. That's a lot easier. So let's go ahead. We know that the base of this triangle is 21. Height is 14. So I'm going to do the area of the triangle first. Area of big triangle. Area of big triangle equals 1/2 times 21 times 14. I'm going to take a half of 14 because I can do that. So half of 14 is going to be 7. So 7 times 21, if you plug that into your calculator, you get 147. Now, I need to subtract the area of the small rectangle here. So area of small rectangle, that is 15 times 7. So I do 15 times 7, I get 105. So to find the shaded area, it's going to be 147 minus 105, which when I do that, I should get 42. And it's going to be 42 units squared. So that is how we find the shaded area. So again, ignore what I said about the beginning. It's not the whole rectangle minus the small rectangle because then we'd still be missing these parts here. We got to make sure we do the triangle minus the rectangle inside, and that will help us a lot. So just to make sure, our final answer should be 42, and we got it there. So all this is area. So I wrote down the formulas. If you guys are taking notes on this, make sure you have the formulas at least familiar to you because we talked about the trapezoid formula, we talked about the parallelogram formula, and we talked about the triangle formula. So hopefully that helps. Let me know if you guys have any questions. Bye-bye.